You're watching IGN FanFest. McFarlane Toys has been absolutely killing it with some of the coolest collectibles on Earth, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Here to reveal some brand new toys is Brian Walters from McFarlane Toys. Hey, what's up, man?
Doing great. How are you? Thanks for having us.
So let's start with the Mortal Kombat Classic with a K for both of those things.
Of course.
7-inch series of toys that you guys are putting out this year.
Yeah, so this summer, San Diego Comic-Con timing, perfect time to release a toy line like this. Long overdue, in my opinion,
right?
To celebrate the classic character designs of the first 2-3 Mortal Kombat games that were released in the 90s.
So McFarlane's done Mortal Kombat stuff before. It's a little, I would say, a little more modern, grotesque. You know, some of the characters are holding skulls that have been ripped out of bodies and stuff like that. Fun stuff. I have the Sub-Zero Scorpion and stuff like that. What was the sort of motivation behind these toys? Because this is definitely the more brighter colorways. You know, not simpler sculpts, but before they were all sort of covered in all sorts of bells and whistles as they are now.
Well, right. We love the more modern games like MK1 that came out just this past year, and Mortal Kombat 11, which we made many figures from, including Spawn appeared in that game as well. But we've seen, you know, the more nostalgic games resonate with collector fans way more, and we wanted to celebrate that. We don't think those character designs had ever been given the proper justice in, you know, 22 points of articulation, 3D sculpting, all the production advances that have occurred over the last 30 years that collector action figures have been made. So yeah, we wanted to go back and start from the beginning and go from there.
Yeah, this is awesome because, like, I don't know if you're old enough like me to have played the original Mortal Kombat games when they came out on an arcade. You probably remember some toys came out, but they weren't really at this level. So we've got some accessories here. We've got alternate head sculpts. I really like Sub-Zero's sort of like swappable hands where he's throwing ice balls and stuff like that. How many are we launching the first line with, and are there plans to do more?
Right, so there's going to be many waves. We hope this is a long, kind of fruitful, long-running line. There's going to be 3 to 4 characters released as single figures, and then deluxe 2-packs that are going to come loaded with accessories and a battle base, and you could kind of recreate the arena scene. But it's a great partnership. We're embarking with Warner Brothers Discovery Global Consumer Products. They've been great partners with us on DC and this going forward, so we're really excited about that. But yeah, I would like to think, you know, 4 to 12 figures a year if we can get there. Oh man, that would be awesome. Yeah, it's such a great place to start because those games are so classic, with a K, obviously, and they just kept building more and more characters on them, and they're all extremely toyetic. Like, a lot of them have very fun action features just existing within those games. So right, it's been a lot of fun to capture. You know, there's lots of the blast effects. How do we get those as accessories? Can we incorporate kind of finisher moves or fatalities and things like that? How do we incorporate that into the toys? We're still developing that. Those are very early looks, what you're seeing on screen, those renders, but stay tuned, coming soon. We've got a lot of events from Toy Fair to WonderCon to San Diego where you're going to see development every step of the way.
And that coming soon is with a K.
Exactly, right.
So let's move on to the 5-inch scale Page Puncher Ninja Turtles. You and I are both huge Turtle fans. Some of the first toys I ever bought that I really got obsessed with were the Ninja Turtles. Tell me about this line.
So we are hyper-focused on the IDW mainline comic book line. It's the longest, one of the longest running Turtle storylines in Turtles history. That's an example of an early Leonardo sculpt. Every figure, every 5-inch figure, 5-inch scale figure, I should say, comes with a IDW TMNT book with the character that's in the box as an action figure on the cover of the comic. So you're going to have the source material right there. They're going to come with a variety of accessories. Ultra articulated, so on par with what we've done with DC and Mortal Kombat.
Right.
There's going to be great posability. We've really, you know, honed in on the IDW look, which has been established by so many great artists. Paramount Global Consumer Products have been a huge partner, IDW as well. So we're really excited to bring those to life as action figures in the 5-inch scale. The Turtles will be kind of the 5-inch baseline, but those larger creatures will be larger, and not everything's going to be jam-packed into a 5-inch size.
I love it. One of the things that we saw here is that obviously a bunch of different incredibly talented artists work on this line, but you have to somehow turn that into a sort of cohesive toy line. So what were some of the challenges there? Because you have some of the most iconic TMNT comic book covers of all time, painted, sculpted, or drawn by different people, and then you turn them all into like one line of sculpts.
Well, the beautiful thing is we have our founder is one of the most iconic comic book artists of all time, so his ability to extrapolate and identify, certain characteristics of each artist and how to get that into a sculpt or a paint application. That's a secret weapon. I mean, Todd's kind of second to none in translating those designs. So you're able to pick that up through inking techniques that these artists use, from some of the sculpting, some of the coloring that goes on in the books. So we've been able to translate that pretty cleanly, I think.
How surreal is this for you on a personal level to be working on a new Ninja Turtle toy line as somebody that grew up with them?
Beyond belief. We were talking earlier that, my trip down to the toy aisle when I was 5 or 6, and I saw Leonardo for the very first time, not knowing anything about the comics or even the TV show. I don't even know if it started, but I became just such a huge fan. And so to come back 30 years later, more or less, is surreal.
When I was little, I had all 4 Turtles, Casey Jones, Splinter, and I only had 1 Foot Soldier, and they were just, it was not fair for him, really. He didn't deserve it. I think he probably stole a TV and 6 people kicked his butt.
Right.
Will there be some enemies and Foot Soldiers and such for these Turtles to beat up on?
Yeah, we love villains at McFarlane Toys, and we love army builders, and I think any collector or fan of some of the other lines we've made knows that we don't try to shy away from army builders. So I think Foot Soldiers on the ready will be available for consumers to make sure that they have a fair fight, right? So,
great.
Yeah.
Well, translating a 2D image into a 3D sculpt is something that McFarlane Toys has been doing extremely well the last few years. Sure. There's one comic book. It's one of the most iconic covers of all time. Mm-hmm. Todd McFarlane was involved with it very clearly. Yep. And you're turning it into a statue.
Right. So we brought it here with us. If we can show it off. But
can't wait for this.
Spawn #1 not kickstarted literally, but launched the career of Spawn in the Image Comics world. Is the longest running creator-owned character of all time. That's a snapshot of the cover there that Todd wrote and illustrated. And we're happy to bring this to life in 3D form as a resin statue, so we'd love to unbox it here. This one, I believe, is going to be part of a sweepstakes, and we're going to give it away, and it's signed by Todd himself on the scroll that Todd puts on all of his comic books on the covers there. So a nice piece of iconography there. They've translated, the sculpting team has translated the trade dress of the comic book, and that's the actual statue base, which is a really nice feature. You get the nice Image Comics logo on the left-hand side. So if we can crack this open.
Let's do it. I mean, growing up reading comic books and buying Spawn when it first came out, issue #1, right. #1s were such a big deal at the time. Right? So the comic books had been going on for so long that you felt like you were sort of late to the party being a kid, right. And getting in on the ground floor of Spawn was special. So seeing this in front of me right now is just giving me goosebumps, man.
Well, in the comic, when it came, I mean, the images just leapt off the page.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure we captured that in statue form from a deco and a sculpt point of view. So really excited to bring this to product form.
So only 930 of these are going to get made.
Right, yeah, so just under 1,000, very limited, not, I think the comic was printed in the many millions. This is a much more special item, and like I said, I think it's the first time we've done this in 3D form. It's a real special item.
Let's open it up. Let's see what's inside.
Yeah. So obviously in 4-color packaging here, we've pre-cut the polyfoam so that we can expedite this unboxing a little bit. I'll do this as gracefully as I can. Brian, if you mind grabbing that side there. There we go.
There we go. It's called teamwork.
Okay, it's the bottom. So there's a little bit of consumer assembly here, but nothing too crazy.
Okay, so we've got the base here,
right,
with the logo on it. First of all, you nailed the colors.
Yep.
That is the perfect green. That is like when you saw that on a shelf in the 90s, you just knew you were in for something special.
Exactly. So here's this is a special cool call out. So here's the placard that Todd signed, which replicates what he signs all of his covers with there. Now this cape, and this is why they made, bringing this statue to life may have taken so long, because the cape is just crazy. Goes around and around and around and around.
Wow. This is awesome, man.
Right? Yeah, I think
like, that is such a great sculpt.
So there's actually an extra piece of cape here that we'll have to attach as well.
It's Spawn. He always has a not unnecessary but egregious amount of cape.
It makes it challenging on the costing side when we have to do these things here.
Okay, so 2 parts to the cape. You're going to put them together right now. Again, 930 of these, and that's it.
That's all there is. I suppose there's always a chance we re-release a color variant, but we at McFarlane Toys, we don't re-release the same item twice exactly as it was. So there's a magnetic key here to get that extra piece of cape there. So this just plugs in to the base. There's one major connection point that gets you the bulk of the statue there.
That is just nuts. I love this so much. Like, are you kidding me? That cape is amazing.
And then the necroplasm, which he has in his hand, I might need to take this out again.
That is the technical term for it, right?
Yes, I believe, yeah. I will get this keyed in.
And again, like that was one of the most visually identifying things of the original cover was just like, wait, what does he? What can this guy do? What's his powers? So, it was just so cool getting in on the ground floor of that and trying to figure out like what this dude was all about, and then seeing it. This is incredible. Like the colors, the sculpt, the details, like the paint ops and everything are just so well done here.
And then if you're not familiar with the comic, there's a collector trading card that comes with it as well, with a bio, a synopsis on the back, with a cool description of the comic cover and the special nature Spawn #1. So.
I love it. Yeah. So you've got the logo in the front. You've got the autographed placard from Todd McFarlane himself, and like you said, we're gonna give this away to a lucky reader on IGN.com or a viewer of this video. Speaking of which, we actually have a special message from legendary comic book artist and toy maker Todd McFarlane himself. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, Todd McFarlane here. Just want to say welcome to everybody here at the IGN Fan Fest. Hope everybody liked the reveal of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff and news that we brought you, along with Mortal Kombat, 2 big brands. Hope you guys dig that. Oh, by the way, if you go to IGN.com, you can enter into a contest and you can possibly win a big resin statue of Spawn from the cover of issue #1. I think it's a $300 or $400 statue. Enter, you might get it for free. It's super cool. Take a look at it. Go to IGN.com.
So head to IGN.com right now for your chance to own this thing and bring it home to your house, and your chance for me to be extremely envious of you because I want it. It's awesome. Brian, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Great to go over these 2 exciting announcements from McFarlane Toys and show off this Spawn statue in real life in person.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, TMNT, Spawn. Come on.
What more could you ask for?
What more can you ask for? All right, well, you can go to IGN.com right now, register to win this autographed Spawn statue so you can have it, and I won't, and I'll be jealous of you. Brian, thank you so much. For everyone watching, go buy yourself some new McFarlane action figures and statues. You deserve it. You've been good. For all things toys, comics, and more, stick with IGN.